want to speak with regard to detect us to be able to fight anything. You need to understand how thing. Anyone that you want to fight, you make a research. How did he get into? Does he eat? Is it he is like this? First, give you a whole message. In this whole world, in the history of dictatorship, is no dictator that did not collapse. Never. Think of anyone, to think of Benito Mussolini, if you want to think of Hitler, to think of Ruro wamanje manje oyu, if you want to think of Saddam Hussein, Radio Africa, na Idi Amin, all of them they collapsed. And they don't last. However, we need to look at the anatomy of their rise. How did they rise into power? They take advantage of fertile ground of if there's crisis, that ground is fertile for dictators to clinch on power. That's why in Zimbabwe, we can lie to each other here that the economy, the whatever that is happening now, it is to an advantage of the dictator to be there. Talking of hyperinflation, talking of the breaking down of democratic institutions, economic chaos. It's good for them. The other one is populist promise. That one, Uncle Gerald, I will tell you, I started understanding it now when I become a grown-up man. There were a lot of things that were promised towards the elections. Let's not forget of rural, rural electrification program. Let's not forget of Munda Mirefu. All those promises is just promises and promises. We are very good at saying ZANU-PF is every time is always in an election mode. They're doing it deliberately. They know that it keeps them into power because we are hopeful. We are so hopeful. Going to give us now, they're going to do this. Why is it they come and promise us things when they're supposed to just deliver? They also weaponize the media. NBC, Herald, comic pastor, not comic pastor, comic elder, comic whatever, the socialites, Namaititi, Madam Boss, whoever, all those people, weaponizing. According to their playbook. They also dismantle from within. How do they dismantle? They dismantle all the systems that we have. They take away judicial independence. They take away the police, they take away the army, they control, they made us believe that they control everything and they take everything away. They take away all our churches, took away our ngangas, profita edu, our small houses. They penetrate in every system. Ango Gerald. They manufacture also scapegoats. How do they manufacture scapegoats? They come with divide and rule. They make sure that if you are fighting on the same side, they make sure that you become enemies. You have seen it here on these spaces, Ango Gerald. How much do we fight each other as compared to how much we fight ZANU PF? Those are the scapegoats that are created by the regime, by dictators. They reign and they take total control. Take total control of information monopoly, institutional decay, all these things. However, Ango Gerald, dictators, therefore, it is inevitable because everything they cook is what leads to their collapse. The pot they are cooking is the one that makes them to collapse. Everything they're doing, it triggers. It is the catalyst that triggers their collapse. So, as I'm wrapping off now, I want to say whatever the detectors are doing is what is going to remove them from. What we only need to understand is where do they get this power from? We know in Gene Sharp it says the politicians, they survive on borrowed power, the power that we lend them. So we need to withdraw the social contract of allowing them to be parasites of our lives. That's how we can only win. We need to stand guided that if dictators are doing this, it is because they want to consolidate their power. If dictators are dishing out cars that giving an dumbu, this is young dumbu kuba mari we should understand that they are just playing from their playbook. But however, nobody has lived forever. So Zimbabwe, let me encourage you here. You cannot get any tricks, any method anywhere else other than the method that were used. On my other presentation, I'm going to come and tell you how do we fight dictators from their anatomy of race, from their total control and their reign. What do we need to do? It is on black and white. If they put a scapegoat to us, we resist that scapegoat. If they come with information monopoly, we we work around it. If there's no information that is being distributed, we distribute the information. If they send and come with propaganda, we come and push back against the propaganda. If the judicial system has been captured, we don't go there. We come up with our own courts, public courts, and we move on. We cannot respond to humiliation because we know dictators have destroyed all the democratic institutions. And then we don't patronize them. Why would we patronize institutions that are destroyed? If we do that, we'll be helping to keep them in power. So let's understand where their power lies. Let's understand what makes them be strong and fight against that. Then we'll be saved. Thank you, Uncle Gerald. Many thanks. I love you, Zimbabwe.